from the morning. It was a very nice session. You learned many things about that, and the last session of Ram Gobind Singh sir was very excellent, where we know about the darknet. There is one question that whether it is possible to identify the browser and everything. So web server is tracking everything, the browser, even the device, the OS it is using by the user. It is storing every information. So now my topic is scanning technique Wireshark. So Wireshark is the world's most powerful network protocol analyzer, and it is used for packet sniffing purpose. It is used by network analyzer, protocol analyzer, and also used as a forensic tool. Now, suppose someone wanted to steal some data. So before that, what they will do? They will get some footprinting. They will get some information, scan the network. They will identify the weak PC, weak device, the target, and finally it will be attacked. So before starting with that Wireshark, so this is the content whatever I will discuss. So about I'll discuss little bit about packet, about the Wireshark, uses and functionalities of Wireshark, features of Wireshark. There is some color codings in Wireshark where we can identify different, we can set different colors for different protocols. Then packet sniffing, then username.
Tor browser personal use के लिए नहीं use करना है ना, Tor browser नहीं use करना है, it is not suggestible.
No sir. Okay, so user and password sniffing. So here what we'll see, we will try to extract a user ID and password using the Wireshark, and there will be demonstration or a practical session on Wireshark. So if I discuss about the packet, so packet is basically means whatever we are doing. Suppose in Wireshark, suppose we are going to capture some network and we are going to analyze the network. Basically we will work with the different kinds of packets. So packets is a unit of data which transmits over a network between the origin and the destination computer or devices. Okay, and it is a small network packets are very small, so size is 1.5 KB for Ethernet packet and 64 KB for IP packet. Now, the data packets in the Wireshark can be viewed online and can be analyzed offline also. We can capture the particular network, we can save it, then we can analyze the packet after that. Suppose now how packet is working. Basically, suppose a user needs to load an image. The image file does not go from a web server to the user computer in one piece. So instead of it is broken down into packets of data sent over the wires, cables and radio waves of the internet, and then reassembles by the user computer into the original photo. So from PC1 to PC2 A to B we want to send. So initially it will, that large image will be converted into the small packets, chunks, and their chunks are converted, their chunks are forwarding from one PC to another PC. Now you will discuss about the means we'll in the using Wireshark we'll just see how packets are going and we'll analyze it. So what is Wireshark? It is an open source packet analyzer. Most of cases people think that using Wireshark what we can do, we can hack the system. Not that. Actually Wireshark is basically used for education purpose, for analysis purpose, some cases software development purpose also it is using. In case of communication protocol development purpose also it is using, and some cases network engineers they are using it as a network troubleshooting purpose. Using Wireshark, it is used to track the packets. It is commonly called sniffer, network protocol analyzer, and network analyzer. So suppose we want to use the Wireshark, then we'll get the Wireshark from the given link below. So from there we'll get the software. So I'll show you how to get the software, but installation is already there in that e-learning portal, so you can view from the installation part. Basically in Wireshark it is used to track the packets so that each one is filtered to meet our specific needs. Whatever our need, suppose I want to track some post data, some gate data, HTTP protocol, UDP protocol, or TCP protocol. So as per our need, what we can do, we can use that Wireshark. So it is, as already mentioned, it is open source, so it is free to use application, and it is often called free packet sniffer computer application. It puts the network card into an unselective mode, that is to accept all the packets which it receives. So whenever we'll connect in the network, so within that network all the packets will be received by the all the packets will be captured by the Wireshark. So this Wireshark has some uses, some functions, some features. So we'll discuss one by one. So when we do the installation, so after installation, when we start the Wireshark, we will get this screen. So this is the screen of Wireshark network analyzer. There it is showing multiple networks. Suppose my PC here, it is connected with Ethernet. It is also connected with Wi-Fi. So it is showing all the networks, and here this is the network traffic it is showing within that graph. So we can select any one of the network, and after selecting that, what we can do, we can analyze that particular network. We can see what is there inside of that network. In that Wireshark, basically Wireshark has some uses. So what are the uses? Wireshark can be used in the following way. It is used by the network security engineer to examine the network security problem. It also allows the user to watch all the traffic being passed over the network. It also helps to troubleshoot the latency issues and the malicious activities on your network. It is used by it is also used by the engineer to troubleshoot the network issues. So all network related issues also can be easily troubleshooted by this. Using this, we can also analyze the drop packets using this Wireshark. So it helps us to know how all the devices like laptop, mobile phones, and desktops, switches, even routers are connected, communicated in a local area network, and it is also connected with the outside networks. Okay. Suppose I want to, when I open a particular website, suppose google.com. So we can capture the frame of google.com. Suppose I want to open like suppose Twitter or LinkedIn. So it will capture. Not only this, suppose if I do the footprinting using Nmap and identify a particular IP address. So using that IP address also, I can easily get I can easily access that particular network. Means what are the data is already sending, and whatever I am accessing, everything will be captured within this particular Wireshark. So it has some functionalities. So what are the functionalities? First functionality is we can do that, we can capture the network in two ways. Okay, one is monitor mode and another is Prometheus mode. So basically, whenever we capture the network initially, we will use Prometheus mode, and this is the default mode where it will capture all these network. Now, suppose some cases it is not possible to scan in Prometheus mode, then we can go for port monitoring also. So what is port monitoring? So basically, port monitoring is a method to monitor network traffics. Okay, it is monitoring network traffic. So when it enables, the switch sends the copies to all network packets present at one port to another port. So here also we can see in the Wireshark, we can suppose whenever we are sending something, suppose port number one port number to another port number, then or that port number also it will show there in that Wireshark software. So suppose here this is another screen where I started capturing. So after when I started capturing, it is showing different port numbers, okay, and protocols. So I have taken only one snapshot. So these are the frame numbers is showing, then source is showing. Okay, so by capturing this is the data view. We can see the data view here. Here we can see the frame, then Ethernet and IP. In case of if we go with IP scanning, IP address scanning, we'll see the IP address. And in case of TCP, HTTP, everything will be shown. Everything will be shown in that panel. Okay, so basically here in this Wireshark there are some feature. There are some features are there, like it is a multi-pane software. This is a multi-platform software. So whenever we can download in different for different OS like Windows, Mac, Linux. We can download it. Okay, so it is a 3-pane packet browser. And it also perform deep inspection of hundreds of protocols. So many protocols are there, it will deeply inspect all the protocols. Often it will do the live analysis. So whenever we will do that's capture the packet, we will do live analysis here. So it has sort of filter options which makes SF for user to view the data. And some cases here in the option is the telephony. In the telephony, what we can see the VoIP analysis. We can in the analysis, we can in the statistics section, what we can do, we can create the different graphs, IO graphs and statistics of particular protocol if you want to check. Now whenever during installation of Wireshark, there are options are there. Two options you will get. One is Nmap, another one is for USB. So if you select the USB monitoring, then USB traffic monitoring is also possible using this Wireshark. So this one is a powerful tool for network analyzing. And it also support various kinds of formats, where it supports a variety of well documented captured file formats such as .pcang or libcap. So whenever we'll go in the demonstration section practical, then I will show you that all the formats. So we can say that it is a number one piece of software for its purpose. It has countless applications ranging from tracking down unauthorized traffic, firewall setting, etc. There are few color coding concepts are there in Wireshark. So color coding concepts means, first of all, in the filter section, if you write a command, means if you select, by default preloaded commands are there. So if you select those, then it will be green color. But in case of if you are writing anything which one is not related to Wireshark command, and then it will be red color. Now, in case of color coding, if I go the previous slide, here in the view option, you will get that coloring rule. So coloring rule means you see here in the screen, ARP, the color is different. In case of UDP, the color is different. So this coloring for every protocol, we can set different color code so that it is easily identifiable for us that which protocol and according to their color. So this color helps users to identify the type of traffic. It is also called as packet colorization. So this particular type of color has some rule. So rule are the temporary rule and the permanent rule. So temporary rule means whenever the mode is active, means doing that live live color live analysis, then the color will be temporary mode, and for the permanent color, rules are available until the Wireshark is in use or the next time you run the Wireshark. So the steps to apply the color will be, I will show you during the demonstration. So this is the coloring rule where it is showing the different colors. BAT TCP, for BAT TCP and different colors. So for ARP and ICMP protocol, the color is different. For TCP, RST, SCTP, SCTP, and TTL, the color is red. Checksum, SMB, HTTP, color is, and also that particular how it will filter, it is showing that particular color. So this color we can change it here. We can add the new rule, or what we can do, we can add the new rule, or we can just select that particular. Suppose I am to change the color of HTTP, then I will select the HTTP, then automatically we'll get the option to change the background. So accordingly, we can set a color for a particular protocol. So using that particular Wireshark, what we can do the packet sniffing. Okay, so in the packet sniffing, what we can do, we can check, we can capture the packet, we can check the flow of the packet, and we can isolate the packet in case of any kind of troubleshooting is we are facing there. We can easily check those packets. So let us first see that particular Wireshark. So in the Wireshark, Is it visible, this page, web page? Okay. Oh, is it visible now? Okay. So now suppose I want to download the Wireshark. So there we'll get that Wireshark different releases there. From there we can download it. So I downloaded it previously. So I just write here Wireshark. So now here in the Wireshark, so it is showing now here it is showing the different networks, and these are the menus from where we can change different settings as per we can capture the information. Okay, we can analyze it, we can create the statistics. Okay, now I want to capture, I want to capture for this Ethernet. So because Ethernet and Wi-Fi both are connected, so I just double click here, then it is started capturing the packets. Okay, so if I write here HTTP, so this is the pen where we can write our commands here. Okay, here, so I have written here HTTP. So I have not opened any website now because whenever I open, after opening that Wireshark, what we'll do, if I start browsing, then it will show here, but here is no HTTP is there. Even my IP address I don't know. So let us first know the IP address. So there is two IP address. So I'm using this one, Ethernet. Another one is I have this this one. One is 1.34 series. Another is 5.13. Okay, fine. Now suppose in the browser, if I now let me check about the TCP. So TCP is also not open anything there. Fine. Now let me open the browser and open a normal page. Suppose this. Okay, so this is a this is within my LAN, so I opened it, or we can open another website also the same way. Now if I opened it, now let me check that whether, and first I opened it, let us open another page. Okay, fine. So this is fine. So I logged in there. Now let us open our Wireshark. Now suppose I want to check the destination address. So this one is IP. So you will get the IP destination. This one is not actually predefined. This one is so actually I have used previously, that's why. Suppose 03, let it be captured again. Now let us check whether any HTTP, just a minute. Let me check whether is a normal in the setting option. So this is a Prometheus mode is there. So yes, it is okay. Now it will take little bit time to track it, that one. IP address, what I can do, we can change it and make it 192.168. I think 1.34. 1.34, this is my IP address. So initially, suppose DNS, the details are showing here. Another one is 13. Let me stop it. Okay, let us start it again. Start. And suppose you want to save it, you can save it. These are the formats are there. Different Wireshark formats are there. You can save as per the format. So I'm not saving it. I'm just closing it and start capturing. Okay, fine. Now let us surf some page. So that it will be okay. Fine. So I think now it will capture the information. Basically, it is capturing all the IPs, means which one is connected. Suppose 172 different IPs, which one is connected here. But our concern is to check the IP addresses connected. Hope that now we'll get the TCP. Otherwise, what we can do, let me change that particular this one and start. Okay, so TCP is connected. So this is the TCP, and so this is my IP. TCP application data, everything is now showing there. If I go the TCP, so for if I select this one, this frame, then it will show frame number 33, device CLS ID, Ethernet, arrival time, then we'll get Ethernet 2, internet protocol, from which IP to which IP we are going. So this is source IP, this one is destination IP. And if any data is there, so here it is, whatever we opened, destination port is 443 SSL. So here we can analyze that source IP port number, destination port number. Acknowledgement 1 is received. So informations are there. Now let me, so now whenever we select in a particular IP address, suppose this source and destination, whenever I select source, so this is the hexadecimal code of the source destination address, and so here is showing the data view, this one, this blue color, and this is the destination. If I click there, then in the destination it is showing the hexadecimal value of the destination address. Now again, let me log in. So this is one HTTP, not HTTPS. So my motive is to show that here I am given here the user ID and password. So using that Wireshark, what we can do, we can easily track down that user ID and password using that Wireshark if we get the particular IP address. So to get that IP address, already there are many tools are there. You can use the NS lookup. I will show you Nmap. There we can track that IP address of a particular domain name. So IP, so destination, then given here 1.233. So 1.233. So here I opened it 1.233. So here is TCP. Now suppose I want to check here, right, HTTP. Okay, so now in every HTTP it started tracking. So this is my IP, but this one is another IP. So as I logged in, and the destination IP address was 172.16.0.3. So this is my source, this is my source address, this is my destination address. So let us analyze it. Okay, fine. So basically the IP address it is showing, it is using HTTP and TCP port number 80. Now if I go here, then we will get that HTTP transfer protocol. Okay, so we can get the details about this. So initially we can see HTTP from here. So this is, we selected this get. So definitely we'll get the password about that in the post. Okay, so this is the details and it is written there. See, whenever I have checked it, it is redirected to which page? This is OP dashboard, but it is the OP dashboard, it is redirected there. So after that login, whenever I click that login, then it is redirected there, and there is another page is there, logout. In case of any error, it might be possible the logout is there, and the session ID is also showing there. So during login, it is created one PHP session ID. This ID is also showing there. Now our job is to view that particular user ID and password. So it is required to analyze it. So basically it will be there in HTTP. So this is the page. It might be possible that information is there because login is written there, OP login. So we can just we can check it whether information is available with that, because we are searching HTTP. So let us move the last section, HTTP protocol. Now this is the HTTP. This is post. This is post method. So here also that user ID and password is not there. So here is the user ID and password. I have used Ajit B, and this is the password. So in some cases, what we are doing, we are sending data in as a post method from using that form. So from that form also we can easily track that username and the password. So using that HTTP, so that's why we are telling that HTTP is not secure and it is not suggested to transfer to send any information in HTTP or IP related destinations. Now I have a tool. So this is Nmap, so network footprinting purpose we are using. So in this tool, basically, if I write, suppose cdeck.in. So this is the command area where whatever we are selecting, so the command is showing there. So not only CDEF, for in case of any URL you just set here, it will show the information. Yes, okay. So is this visible, that Nmap? Zenmap is written, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, suppose actually I tried yesterday. So, and today morning also you saw that using the Shadow, they already identified that IP address of CDEC. So I want to tell you whatever I have given you the demonstration in the particular URL. So that IP address is basically using IP address. I tracked it. I used that HTTP. Now in that particular that HTTP, if a server is HTTP, then if user gives the user ID password, we can track it. Fine. Now, if you are using HTTPS, it is not possible because whatever I given you from a particular location, that server have HTTPS also. So for HTTPS, there is different domain name. From there, if you access it, you cannot track that user ID and password. Okay. After that, the mouse actually. Fine. Now in the port, the topology, everything will show here. That controls. We can do here quick scan, or we can select that one. This is the details. This is the IP address. So already you know that one. That today morning they have showed you that IP address. So this IP address is 196.1.113.45. Now, if I type here, let me remember it again. 196.1.113.45. So initially, if I write CDEC, it is showing CDEC, and this is SSL certified. Now, if I write here 196.1.145, then it is opening and it is HTTPS. Now, in this case, if someone opens it, and there is no login page is there already, I checked it, that's why I'm showing you the demonstration. So in case of login page, if now someone is in the network and they want to access other person login credential, they can easily access it if the login page is available there, but it is showing the information only, so login is not showing here. So it is not a threat for them, but if a attacker want to track, then they can easily track the details by getting the IP address. Now here topology will come here. Here basically the topology will come here, how we are connected with particular, means suppose my network is connected directly with that particular CDEC server. Here it is not showing because I am using that NCAN connection, so there is some restriction protocol are set it here, so we cannot show it. I cannot show it here, but if I connect it the mobile network, then easily we can show show the topology here. So in case when I'll give one break for 5 minutes after 4 p.m., then I will show you by connecting my network there, if possible. Okay, but the information is, see here we can get the information. We can go quick scan option is there, and let us scan. Okay, now suppose I want to open nelit.govcorp.in. Now scan. So it will scan, and definitely whenever you are using install this one for practice purpose, for education purpose, you can check it there from your own network. Then you will find that all the informations are showing there. In the port also it is showing there, the topologies are showing there. You will get, if you click the control, you will get one remote here. So if you zoom that one, automatically it will show the network, how it is directly connecting with the that particular IP address, and within that how many devices are connected, everything will be there. Okay. Okay, fine. So as it is not tracking here, no problem. Let us move to our session, next session. So basically using that particular first, suppose as starting of my presentation, I have mentioned that to identify a particular target machine, first we have to identify that that we have to do that footprinting and scanning before attacking the target machine. So suppose already that nmap is there, whenever you are going to install that Wireshark, then you will get the definitely you will get the information to install the nmap. So you can install that time. Otherwise you can download that nmap from other sources also. So after downloading, you will get this interface. You want to set anything, you set the target here. So after setting the target, suppose if I set the target, so whenever you set the target here, then it will take some time, then it will show the information here, the port number and how many ports are open, everything will show here. Now now I want to show you one thing. In that particular, suppose in the today's session, morning session, there is one topic like phishing. So I want to show you something, I want to demonstrate you something about how phishing is happening. Okay, so basically, in case of one attacker, they can, what they are doing initially, they are trying to get the email IDs. So getting that email IDs, they are doing the phishing. So there are many tools are available. Suppose this is one tool. So if I give the organization name and if I start searching, then see all the email IDs related to that organization is showing. So it is easily possible to get the email IDs. Yes. So this is started that particular scanning. So from different sources, it is downloading the information and email IDs. Now I'm just stopping here. So total 282 items found. More items are there, just I stopped it. So email ID is easily possible to get this. So after getting that email ID, what is required? It is required to send. So there is many tools are there. Social engineering tools are there as a toolkit. So using that set, or suppose using that set, we can directly send that mail IDs. Suppose I forwarded one mail ID. Using that Kali Linux, there is one set is option there, that toolkit. So using that toolkit, what we did, we just send them, we can set multiple mails to a particular user. Now for demonstration purpose, I forwarded for demonstration purpose, I forwarded one mail to suppose this person. So initially, okay, so you need to change your password. You need to change your password immediately. So click here to change your password. In some cases, we are getting this kind of message, or suppose phishing kind of message. Now suppose if someone click there, then it will open another link there, which one is similar page like Gmail. Suppose here I have mentioned one. If I click there, then in the bottom side it is showing that one IP address and gmail.php. So let me open that page. So in some cases, what we are doing, we are shortening that email ID. Suppose it is there, we can easily shorten that one, and we can send the user. So they can select it. They can, if they click, they will redirect to a page which is almost similar like Gmail. Now, if I log in there again to change the password, we'll get that window. So it opened it in my Gmail, but if I check that a phishing occurred and the email, the password is stored here. So here that password is stored here and attack the time is showing when it was occurred. So we have to check definitely the URL, what URL we are using, and because some cases if IP address is there or suppose HTTP is not there, then it may be possible that victim can that hacker can track the user ID and password. Suppose we created another page for demonstration purpose. So this one is only for demonstration purpose. We created we randomly selected one bank. We created the page, similar kind of page. If you open the same page here, so if you check that it is almost same. So this is that that web, and this is the demo page, and this is the original page, almost similar scene. Just the different is that URL. This is HTTPS and URL is there. It may be possible that I am here using that IP address. In case of IP address, if someone can change the name little bit, can change one character, replace one character, and they can send the link. So we should be careful that what page we are accessing, and definitely we have to check that whether it is HTTPS or there is not. Then accordingly we have to check it, and for more security we can go there we can get the certificate. So here the same case, if you follow the step, if you go there, suppose after one user ID, it will ask you to give the password. The same thing here we design here. If we click the continue, then it will ask for password. And if I give the password, then it will be stored that password in my email ID. Sorry, not email ID, in that particular victim page. Login. Now after login, if I click login, then it will redirect to that original site of PNB. So some cases what happened, okay, some cases what happened, if the user is not active that much, then they can redirect to a malicious site to main site. So this is the same case here also Facebook. I think now the design is changed in Facebook, but the same case here also. And login. So it is redirected to Facebook. And if we check this one, so it is saving the details. There. So we should be aware that whatever we are using, that particular URL is very, very important. If it is redirecting to any IP address, so it is not suggested to give any information there. Now, whatever activities we did, all the activities are stored here in that particular Wireshark. So now from here, we can track that one. We open that Facebook. This is from facebook.com. When it opened at Facebook, after redirecting, it opened at Facebook. So this one is my gateway. This is the facebook.com. We can get more information here. So for that, the IP, that one is protocols are used: UDP, DNS, and search DNS. For mail, we opened mail, Gmail. So Gmail, that one is there. Let us check frame capture. Redouble Google. No, it is not there. ARP. This is ARP. Let us see the ARP. So it is for request ARP. Reply is not there, so reply will be there. If you open, then we will get the reply ARP also. This is the Ethernet. So this hexadecimal value, Ethernet value, hardware, IP, protocol, hardware size, protocol version 4. Sender, this is target. ICMP. So in the ICMP, host unreachable, host unreachable. So here we'll get that protocol version, IP protocol version, then length of the header and total length. So header length, this one. So total is 52. Time to leave is 127 protocol TCP, and this is the destination I have selected here. So this is the destination, this is different IP. Now let us check about UDP. So the UDP means already this one is 14.129. This one is already connected, means that we are using the Cisco WebEx. So this is the address of that. So source address is my PC. This is destination address, UDP source port, destination port, and length of message data 156. So it is not possible to that one is convert. We can convert part by part hexadecimal value, then we can get the value. Now suppose you want to see the statistics, or suppose you want to see the graph. This is IO graph. Just a minute. So I'm using that one Wi-Fi. So this Wi-Fi, and this is the graphical representation. Again, let me open it. Graph. Is loading. Okay. So this is the graph. So this is all packets, and another TCP errors are there. So these are the information. This is the TCP communication. This is TCP keep aligned segment. So all the statistics are here. It is showing. So it is if the network is suppose if the activity started and it takes time, then automatically every information will be tracked here. So I'm here stopping that particular Wireshark, though we can analyze it and save it. So how many packets in the footer it is showing how many packets it captured 33,60982 and displayed 185231 51.3% packets displayed. So it is captured more packet but is displayed, so it will display. Okay, so let us back to our presentation. So already you have seen that how we can track multiple protocols and different way using that Wireshark. So in case of username and password sniffing, already I showed you if it is HTTP, then it is in the RESTable form URL encode. We can easily see that username and password. So practical already done. So thank you. If you have any question, you can ask me. So let us check. If you have any question, you can ask me. Is it possible to get official email of a person or organization department using? Oh, this is okay. Voice breaking. Okay, the question is, if can you demonstrate how to identify the malicious traffic related issues on share. So for this, basically, you will, if the network is little bit slower, and it is means net is there, but if you are finding that yes, the network is little bit slow, so you can say that some malicious things are there in the network. Any question? Okay, Naresh sir.
I think there is a question in chat box, sir. Just Q&A. I'm just looking at. I think there are no questions. Okay, sir. We'll take a break and we will start the next session.
Okay, sir. Thank you. The tutorial, yes, tutorial is already there in that iaca.reskill.net. Their tutorials are there, very nice tutorials. You log in there, you'll get the lab videos. In the lab videos, you will get all the tutorials starting from the installation up to that creating the statistics, IOGraph, everything is there. Okay, thank you.
Chidananda Bhattacharjee. Sir, can you please share your PPT? Now, dear participants, it's time for break. We'll break for 10 minutes and meet at 3:35. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Naresh here.
Naresh sir. Okay, sir.
Yes.
From when I will start?
You start at 3:35, sir.
3:35. Okay.
And sir, there is a slight disturbance in your writing headphone. Can you please change your headphone?
Headphones.
Yeah, there is some sound is coming.
Is it okay now, sir?
Now it is fine. Now it is fine.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, if you please start at 3:35, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay.